Alrighty, good evening, everybody. Yeah, you're good. What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hurry up. Hello, you are one of the bossiest people I think I know. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and let's go and we'll give everybody maybe a minute here, and we'll go ahead and get started. So, um, let's see here. Let's take a peek at futures while we wait. All right, looks like futures are trying to give us that hammer completion, a little gap fill to the upside, just showing a little bit of a bounce here. All right, so we got a couple of things to cover, so let's go ahead and do so. If you guys have anywhere to reshare this, make sure you do. I'm going to go ahead and reshare it on Twitter really quick. All right, there we go. All right, so a couple things here. So over the weekend, we've seen since the open, we've seen a little bit of a bounce. But reflecting on last week, we did see the S&P down 4.77%. Hold on 1 second, let me check something. I think I have. Sorry, my daughter's in and out of being sick, so I was trying to make sure that it wasn't. Yeah, I was trying to make sure that she wasn't getting the coughing on camera. So I've got a crisp sound system for that. So, all right. Anyway, so moving forward from that, we saw the Nasdaq down 5.48%, really getting pummeled. The Russell 4.5%, and the Dow 4.13%. Excuse me. So a couple of things. Adobe acquired Figma last week for $20 billion, and the biggest buyout of privately owned software company ever. Starbucks outlined a reinvention plan, which included a focus on partner relationships. FedEx pre-announced the first quarter earnings a week early, delivering bad news for the market. The stock experienced the largest daily decline in its history as a public company, as fears of worldwide recession spread. So anyway. Technical analysis. This is funny to read. We're paying attention to some of the biggest stocks making new lows, suggesting it may be a sign for more pain ahead in the markets. Kind of silly. But most of this, the catalyst here was off of CPI, consumer inflation data. And so this week, which is what we're going to move into now, we're going to take a peek at Forex Factory. All right, so going into the rest of this week, it's always important to have this stuff in mind. So Monday and Tuesday, we get a bit of a reprieve as far as data is concerned. So we might be able to see a little bit of movement there. I do think that we will stay somewhat in range due to this, but FOMC Wednesday, 10:30, or excuse me, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'll have to evaluate price action as we go into that, and then for the rest of the week, we got unemployment claims, flash services PMI, and then Fed Chair Powell speaking going into Friday. So we got a pretty exciting week as far as talking and data is concerned. Excuse me. So a couple things here. Japan issues a special typhoon warning ahead of a historic storm. A super typhoon to dump about 20 inches of rain when it lands, I think, today. So anyway, earnings this week that I will be keeping an eye on. September 19th, we got AutoZone, Stitch Fix on September 20th. Also be looking at TCOM on September 21st. And then, of course, FedEx has already delivered, but Costco will have earnings as well. So keeping my eyes peeled on those. And then as far as my watch list is concerned, this is posted in the Discord. So if you guys are in the Discord right now, bro, I've been missing you. I miss you guys too. Yeah, guys, so the PotterStocks page, if you guys follow me here, is renewed. I have a new one, which I'll be putting in I got to put in my link tree, but excuse me. Sorry about that. But the page is gone. Unfortunately, sometimes when you talk shit, you also get hit. But unfortunately, you can't really block social media attacks. So, but yeah, it comes with the territory. I'm not really that beat up about it. It is what it is. It's one of those things where I can choose to be upset about it, or I can just get to 1,000 followers and do it all over again. Because once you go live, it is what it is. And again, I said this before in my videos. If I lost all of my followers, I think the ones that truly were learning from me would end up finding me somehow. So, whatever works out. So anyway, we're gonna take a look here at yield Tesla. So right now, hourly time frame, guys, I do have a trend coming from these lows. I've also measured these with fibs. I've looked at pivot points just to confirm everything as far as looking for confluences on each level. So what I have spotted is a potential rising wedge leading us up to, and depend, obviously we don't want to time the market, but we could end up seeing highs around 314, or just simply 311. But this box that we're in currently is basically, and I've typed out all of this for you on the Discord. So if you go to PotterStocks, make sure to leave a reaction. If you guys ever do that, lets me know whether or not people are seeing these posts. But for Tesla, we closed. I am in a call. I do have a upside position on Tesla. And I'm probably just going to end up looking for a break over the 307 mark. We can see multiple candle closes. This is where Tesla really took a beating to the downside. And then as far as the downside, as far as where we would want to see Tesla break below, I'd like to see a break below 301.50. That's not the short sign. The short sign would be, in fact, probably below 300 and 296. At that point, I would be aiming for this gap to the downside. Otherwise, if you guys take a step out here to the 4 hour with me, again, Tesla held a major divergence from the market. While SPY sold off, Tesla held its ground. We watched that price action development. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you, man. Oh, FOMC 9:20 announcement, 9:21 to 2 p.m. chat. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, brother. Is TTI Charlie? No. No. That's he's just a normal guy. Regular guy. Yeah, no but yeah, I appreciate that. So, excuse me. Got a bit of a cough right now. So anyway, the one thing that I want to point out here, and I said I was going to go in depth on this, Tesla is notorious for when it dumps, and I want you guys to really, really pay attention to this. Tesla, when it dumps or when it decides to dump, loves to break range and let you think that it's going to move to the upside. And instead, you end up getting a cold-hearted reversal to the downside. So Tesla, while is again notorious for consolidating this way, it's also notorious for giving that 1, 2, 3 fake out to the upside. But we can normally spot that. And again, I'm not going to swing a lot to the upside because Tesla, again, is at that point of control on the daily. And this means that basically it's right there. So a break above 325, and this could end up being a long, moving up into the 345 range. Otherwise, I will be looking for a pullback if we do see a rejection, or if we do have an FOMC bomb end up hitting between now and then. But otherwise, the market has held up really, really well. I did notice that the RSI was showing a bit of a divergence to the downside while we were moving up. But other than that, volume looks good. I even really kind of liking this indicator. About to try out a new one that's similar to it, but we're still getting a little bit of juice here. So I don't expect a ton from Tesla, but I do know that because SPY has made new lows, and because tech has made new lows, by the way, Meta ended up hitting 145. Pretty sweet. It bounced. So I've been profitable ever since learning from you, and only about 38 days a minute for my break. Dude, um, that makes my heart happy, bro. I'm super, that's amazing, bro. Thank you for that message. I really appreciate that. So without everything making new lows, right? And everything possibly needing a retest, right? One of the things I said about Meta was that I was gonna need to see a retest, but Meta, right? And this is where we're gonna go ahead and move into the next phase of this analysis. But Meta, right, has made a new low, left a lot of gaps to the upside, which it's done before, but it always goes to refill them. Always. If stocks move up to the upside, right, then I would suspect that Tesla would see if A, that wedge ends up playing out, an accumulation of sellers, and then a push up into the 323.50 level. And that's really as far as I can see Tesla going as of right now. We would need extraordinary volume. And that's what you guys need to think about is we need to have something that's going to drive buyers into Tesla. Okay, that's the focus here. So last thing here on Tesla, most of the whole ribbon indicators here are flipping green, so I still like this one to the upside. Moving on to Meta, right? So Meta, this one again, my price target for Meta was 145 and 140, of course. I did signal a TP on Meta, a little bit ahead of my target, and normally I would say hold until we get to our target. But we did close out for a pretty decent gain. But I noticed that the selling pressure was decreasing and that we had and we are at an area where we should see a proper retest. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing Meta move to the upside. So right now here on the hourly, moving on regular hour time frame, right? We do have what appears to be a wedge, right? We know that these things can end up being a whole hell of a lot of, you can end up having channels. So we could see a rejection. We can see a pullback all the way down to 140.37, right? So if we see a red Monday, watch for a rejection, possibly up here. But you do have a little micro gap here at 148.80 and right here, which is the 50% mark of that pattern, right around 149.75 and 150. So if the screen is blurry, you might need to change it to 180 PD or 180, whatever that's called. I don't know. Looks HD. It should be HD, dude. I pay a lot of money for my internet. More than what I ever have. I promise. It's better than some of that Blue Mountain hand crank Wi-Fi or something like that. You should be able to rewind it, and it should be less blurry. Obviously, you got a little bit of delay. Let me see. That's what you think I can do on my end. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. All right. Let's continue. Last thing. Um. Okay. PC okay, phone blurry. It might be because the resolution's too much. It might be too much, but what's an app I can simply long or short stocks? I know how to trade, but I've been solely doing crypto, interested in branching out. TD Ameritrade, TradeStation, Lightspeed, E-Trade, all of them have you can go short or long. So all right. So anyway, Meta, I do like the whole ribbon indicator here. You guys haven't seen me really pull it out too much, mostly because we've been oscillating and it does me no good. But when we start to touch the ribbon starts to thin out. So if we hold above that ribbon, I would imagine that we can go ahead and expect a possible retest of around 155 on Meta. It could even rip up to around 157, but I would imagine that we should see a pretty good move from Meta to the upside if we do see a bounce. So um, hopefully Powell can do that for it. Yeah, long or short. You can both all of those platforms provide both. So all right. So anyway, that's Meta. little bit of a falling wedge here, looking good for a retest. We'll be probably taking a call on that one. And that's it, guys. Same old, same old. I was gonna throw on Netflix today or tomorrow for a gap fill to 245. So if it doesn't gap up, I think above the previous high of 242.14, that should make for a pretty solid day trade. So Netflix, Tesla, and Baba are going to be the two watches for me tomorrow. And of course, we could watch 245.85, but what about Baba? Baba gets left off the watch list until it gets better looking. But to comment on it, this one, excuse me, this one has fallen through its zone. Okay. Looks like kind of like Meta that it might go up and give you a little bit of a retest, maybe 88.50, where there's a small gap here to the upside. I would say 88.50 and 89.29, maybe $90. But here's the deal. Okay, so let's go to the 4 hour. Here's the deal on Baba, right? If you hold a candle back up in here, this thing is going to squeeze the dog shit out of these shorts. All right, so let's look at the trend. All right, so from its highs, right, not here, but here to there, right, confluence 200-day moving average, we like that. Here's that bottom, right, from these lows there. Interesting, right? Very, very interesting. Now we go and we draw our box again, right? This is how we spot fake outs before the other ones do. It looks like, hold on, let me check right there. Perfect. Okay, so if you close a candle inside this box, right? So I'd say $89 is where I would probably set my alert here. There's a good potential to squeeze up into your gap at 94.40. 94.40. So there's a great day trade opportunity if you can catch this one. And you'll know because the energy, it'll look like that. You'll see really, really good volume. So how long do you usually put an expiration for a week or more for day trades or scalps? For day trades, any between 3 weeks and 1 week. For swing trading, I'd like to be out a month or two, maybe more. And then for scalping, primarily, I'm going with this week's contracts. I do try and stick to one strategy, which is what most people should do. Is stick to one strategy, so that way they get really good at that one. That's something that I'm going to be focusing on this week. So we've been talking about these zones in my strategy, but I'm really going to be focused on you guys. A little creepy here, but no, I'm going to be focused on you guys and trying to reiterate. I'm going to ask you guys, especially if you're in the Discord, what's your strategy? What you doing? You sticking to your strategy? You holding long? What are you looking for? What time frame are you watching? What's relevant to you? So, you hit the nail on the head with Amazon. What did I do with Amazon? I don't remember. Did I be giving out plays? No, I don't mean it like that, but did it bounce? Oh, dude, it bounced right on my line. Nice. That's cool. That's always nice to see. I think that's the reason I do analysis. I think I would probably chart other markers if we didn't have one. So, all right, well, that's it. I suck at anything that isn't a swing. So John, you need to focus on the execution, which paper trading can be good. If you got real money in the market, you should practice trading underneath. But you gotta, as long as you feel confident in swing trading, there's no reason that you can't study and try and kind of put together something for day trade. I mean, you should at least know what's going on with the scalper, what's going on with the day trader. These are good things to research, but you don't have to do them. All right. Excuse me. When I draw my boxes, how am I finding my psychological number? So I don't find them. They just are, right? So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, right? That's how this works. So like, the low here, we can see wick, body candle close, wick, where's that? 135.85, right? That's a psychological number, 135. And in that 135 range, right? Anytime it's at a psychological number, it's either more attractive or less attractive to buy, right? Due to the climate. So when you get to psychological numbers, a lot of people will place shorts off of them, and a lot of people will or push back off of them, and a lot of people will buy. And so it's important to know where those marks are. But when I draw my boxes, right, the boxes, and I could be anywhere. I could be in a giant box, like here. So I'm just going to find those lows. The lows are at 102, right, and right around 101. Now I'll explain why this isn't at $100. Okay. Mostly because, and this is the funny thing, is that's the TP point, right? That's going to be a TP point for a lot of people going short. And you notice how much they fake this thing down? Drop it. I mean, they drop it flat, dump, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. You know how many people tried to short this? The more that you accumulate shorts, the better the move is to the upside. You need them. We need bears, right? That's why I am one. But when I'm drawing these zones, I'm not actually looking for the psychological number. The psychological numbers just show up. They're there because that's where price gravitates. This is 125.70, right? Rejection, candle close. When you fall in to the box, the first place that you retest, right, is often the place where you had to break through, retest, and now becomes a point of resistance. So all right, well, let's go ahead and wrap that up. But if you guys have requests, you guys know the deal. Drop those down. I see you, Ash, Disney. But let's go ahead and start from the top. Prediction for Gap tomorrow. Where is Figs? Figs. Make sure to follow the new TikTok too. I do have a new TikTok, so if you guys don't follow me on there, do it, or I'll be upset. No, I won't. It's okay. I don't know what this is. I do love figs, but one time I learned that figs can only exist via fig wasp larvae, and that figs create a chemical to break down the wasp body inside of it. So you're eating like dead wasp juice. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to ruin figs for you guys, but it was ruined for me. So anyway, as far as the chart is concerned, this one does appear. I do see a confluence with a new 200-day moving average. Not a big fan of charting things that are so fresh. What I do like to do a lot of the time is start from where I see resistance currently, which could be here, and then pulling it up. But because this is so new, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. But what I can do is a lot of the times I can hit it with this standard deviation channel like so, and end up finding a pretty solid. There we go. Okay, so and I like this as far as trying to make sure that trend's on point here. So nice deep look at the skidding right there at that deviation channel. That's great. We like that. Let's also look here where we're at currently, because you did pull back pretty strong. You got solid rejections. It looks like it's $12.93 or $13. And then to the bottom, right? So you did have this little bottom right here. That one looks and appears to have been broken. All right, so here's the deal. I like how this kind of sets up. If you close a candle underneath 985 tomorrow, I would imagine that you're probably going to see you either have the 75% mark right here, which is going to be 930 or 920. Below 920. And you can also see, right, so this is how we find these areas, is we like to go and take a line right here. Do you guys notice that the first place that you bounce is here? The first place that you retest is here. The first place that you break out and retest is here. That is 920. So 920 would be an area to look for a potential break back up above. And I would say that, being historically accurate here, it would have to be 1065 for me. Otherwise, this one could be hitting the dumpy down to 850 and potentially lower. So as far as that gap, wow, I haven't traded gap and look at it. It's got so many gaps. Oh, that's not the right one. What the fuck? Why? Where's gap? GPS. That's right. I forget. Ooh. Oh my god! Look at this thing. That thing got wrecked. They got a gap in their stock market. Oh my god. Kanye was right. All right, so let's see here. Interesting chart though. Nice and clean trend here. Broken trend. I'll clean up the chart here and get rid of those EMAs here for you guys in just a second. All right, so, right, this is how a lot of people work this out. What's the new TikTok? It's PotterStocks 2.0. Not really original there, but I should be live tomorrow. Are you talking about in Discord? I'm always live in Discord. I rain, sick, sleep. For the most part, I'm always live in the Discord. Always. All right. So looks like, right? So this is where we can kind of line this up. It does look like, and it might be just a tad bit off here on the top. I might, yeah, I am. So let's clean that up. Let's clean this up just a little bit. Boom, bada bing. Okay, so it looks like, look at the way you skid right there. Like that a lot. Now, whether we like this or not, this is actually, so there's a multitude of different cup and handles, right? Let's see if I can actually pull. So there's different variation, right? Of different cups and handles. And a lot of the times, right? You have the rounded bottom, and sometimes you hold a flat bull like consolidation area here. That's very bullish for the most part, right? Sometimes you have more of a bearish cup and handle. That's where the price usually falls below the demand, right? Or below this zone below you. So right here and right here, right? So right now you are cuddled up at, you want to guess it, the 50% mark. So right here, from those lows, the bottom, and that's where you're at currently. So you want to go short, watch a short and look at where you're at right there. Watch a short below 8.15 or $8. If you want to go long, Gap would need to, right? And because Gap does, starting from its highs, moving to its lows, it does have that little channel there. You would, and there's a gap as well, 960 or 996. So I would say that a move above 1035 for GPS should give you a move possibly up into the $11 range. That's if they squeeze them out. If they do not, then I would imagine you have a better chance to double bottom, right? So going back down, rounding back out, and seeing a move. But Gap could be taking a hit long term, so we'll see. They made a lot of money from real estate, actually. All right, so let's keep moving here. We got a GPS. If you want, I'll tweet that chart out for you. Actually, I'll post this in the Potter, in the Discord or Potter chat thing. So in the live charting recap, I'll post these. If let me make sure that I have it open for everybody. Okay. All right, you guys should be able to see it. All right. If you're in the Discord, I'm posting these charts, which again, I'm probably not going to be able to leave my Discord open much longer. Unfortunately, I am tracking a couple of different people now who are acquiring my charts, but I need more. I need more. I need them to keep stealing my charts. So if you're listening right now and you're stealing my charts, and keep stealing them because I need this to verify that it's you. So I appreciate your work. The next one that we got, right, is I don't know if that's the chart that you wanted, but I did it. All right, the next one is PDD. Ooh, that's a juicy meatball right there. Check that bad boy out. That is a spicy meatball, dude, and that is a phenomenal setup. That is a phenomenal setup. Why is this a phenomenal setup? Now, I don't want to go off and predict the entire, move or anything like that, but ooh, this is a beautiful, beautiful setup. I think we'll see. I could be wrong. Could be hallucinating. He's left. He's right. All right. Over here. So. This is pretty clean. Okay. Now, here's the deal. Yes, this could be bearish ultimately, right? Kind of like we saw in here. Very, very intense fluctuations before ultimately falling down. And we can also see that, you left a gap up there for quite a long time. So gaps that are here hold no value unless obviously price action supports the gap fill. But that this could be a supporting factor for that exact same thing. So what we do see is and it's always the third time, right? So if you're going to send this to the upside, what do you need? You need an accumulation of buyers. So they've gapped this down. You get a good solid bounce off of that support. Not only that, but you end up wicking everybody out. So anywhere below that wick, right? I would go ahead and guess, yeah, you're going to go ahead and move to the downside. There is a gap to fill down there. That got filled. So watch for PDD to give you a nice gap fill squeeze. And then I do notice from the highs that we do have a bit of this, right? So this is on the daily, guys. So on the 4 hour, right? Same thing. So watch for a potential gap fill, squeeze up and out. And if if this resistance is correct, right? Which I believe it is. I try not to stretch shit, or use confirmation bias. It does. It does. It looks like it could give you a move up to 74.50, right? Now, why would it just give you a move there? More than likely, it could go and reject its big gap, right? Now, here's a question that I know you guys probably don't ask, but you probably wonder, where do I put it? Is it here? Is it at the 4 hour daily candle close, right? Where the price actually gaps down? Let's figure out what our main concern is here, right? So the main concern here, now granted, this does mark the 50% mark, but the main concern is where volume is, because gaps are only attractive because there's no volume in them, right? And they're easy to fill, especially if you're a high frequency trader. So because there's volume here, it's safer to always bet on that and let your runners run into the rest of that gap, which is lower volume, but still has it. So, that being said, that is a gap. So you might see 74.50. 74.50 would be my PDD target. Anywhere above that, watch for a 50% gap fill, which is technically right here. All right, so that's going to be a 50%. That's 78.74. So not a bad chart there on PDD. I'll send this one up and out to the Discord as well. So if you want this chart, come and take it from me. All right, the next one we got is, and thank you, Professor Potter, Sir PhD Captain. I like that. I was almost a captain. I could have been a captain of a paddle boat. What price should I buy in a Tesla? I can't answer that question, brother. Try to send me to jail. Can you look at para? I can tell you what I would do is buy Tesla when it moves back up above that 325. That's what I would like. All right, so I don't know why I moved that trend line like I already know what I'm doing here, but it does appear that I was on to something. All right, so I think if I remember charting this correctly, we had a head and shoulders. That head and shoulders is dead. You've made a pretty decent move out of it, but you haven't completely died. So let's restart the chart because I already see what I'm looking for. So I got support here, correct? Right? Yes, yes, yes. And now, what else do I got? Start from my highs, go to my lows, right? Very good. Now, recent swing highs, lows. Oh, that's a spicy meatball right there. And we got a ton of consolidation up above us, right? So we know exactly where Para's levels are. So let's mark those out, right? Take a look at that. So that's Para right now to the upside. You've got a small gap here that says 23.45, 46. I would look for a resistance tap. There's a confluence, right? A confluence is when more than one key level, trend line, EMA, whatever the case is, they intersect, correct? Right? So that's what we're looking at there. So a gap fill, right, and close above that gap would put you back in the box. And that's the goal. You want to go bullish, go back in the box, right? If you want to stay bearish, reject that box, but you are holding a trend, right? So if this lower time frame trend is broken and a candle is established here, I would assume that we should see a 26. I'm going to call 2650 to the upside, and I'm actually going to set an alert on this one so I can go gloat about it to myself later on. All right. And I guess if it goes off, I'll let you know. You know, it's cool, by the way. Look, I don't know who asked that. Who asked for Para? Para. Where'd it go? If not, I'm just gonna say that guy from TikTok or from YouTube. PDD. Am I just charting? Oh no. Okay. Honestly, I don't know. So now I have a customized alert. All right. So that's Para. We'll go ahead and screenshot that and put it for you in the Discord. So make sure you guys hit the link in the bio. Hop in the free part. All right, so let's keep it moving. We got Para. Um, I almost charted HD because someone said it looked HD. Ash, let's take a look at your Disney. Disney. Ooh, damn. That's cool. I remember the last time we charted this together. Man, I tell you what. I love technical. I really do. This shit's fucking crazy. Look at this. Look at how well I have not looked at this chart in a minute. And look at the wedge. Look at the 50% retracement. Boop. And then look at the pullback down. You gap down under in the box, right? You bounce off your median. You reject it. You go to your lows. You don't go below your lows. You go to your highs. You candle close below that, showing sellers still don't want it there. And you go out of the box. So, because we've recognized that this is a potential channel, which I would say you're pretty close, right? So maybe I'm gonna call for a 104 pullback, possibly. So watch for maybe a quick gap fill and then pullback, or maybe even just tapping 109, or excuse me, 110. So funny enough, right? Somebody asking me about psychological numbers. There you go, right? The box, I'm not finding it. It finds me, 110, psychological number. Boom, across the board, we can go and find and see that 110, right? Even just that area is ain't no joke, right? Bounce. So that would be the area to break and hold above if you want to go up and out and fill these gaps, right? Because you have lower time frame gaps right here that you've already attempted to fill. So now you got some little gaps here, and we'll make these gaps. I don't know why, but purple feels right. Ooh, I don't like that. There we go. So gaps, try and coordinate those so they're clean and organized. So we got two gaps right below and above us. I can't deal with that. That's gonna freak me out. All right, right here, right there, right, and also mind you, you guys know the deal. The 75% mark is where that gap closes. You see a lot of candles. So watch 110.75. That's the danger zone. Mako F Baba. When would I buy a call for Meta? Would you wait for the confirmation? Okay, so let's talk about Meta really quick. So I'll tell you guys what. As far as the, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, as far as like the retest, I can't call it, right? When does that come? Maybe now, maybe it happens this week. But we also know very well that wedges love to retrace 50%. So if you retrace 50%, that could be anywhere around 150.75. It is very possible that we extend into a channel and meta keeps falling to the downside. So one, we want to keep track of trend, but we don't want to stare at trend. We want to pay attention to what's really truly above us. And what is above us is showing us that an hourly candle close inside of this range should bring us up to about 151.90. A candle close above that, right? Look at the no candle close. That should send you directly back up to 155.70. So you have a pretty big, pretty decent wall, but that wall also is fuel. So when I would take my attempted entry for day trade using the one and I'm probably going to hit the 150 strike, right? For I'll probably go with this week or excuse me, next week's. Give me 2 weeks of full data. There's a gap to fill, right? Gap fills at 148.88. So here's kind of how I would set this trade up right now. I'd have to go to the lower time frame and kind of see where sellers are at as far as where we're at right now. And it looks like they like to control the price at 147. 147. So a candle close up above S1 is likely going to have me taking a position to the upside. So that's 5 to 15-minute candle close. This is a day trade, depending on how fast it moves, maybe ends up being a scalp. Gap fill, again, 149, 149.50. I would expect a little bit of flack when we turn into that level. And it also depends on the price action. If price action is weak on Monday and we just slowly chop up, probably not going to trade, but more than likely we would see a very sloppy retest of 149 and possibly go make a new low. Right now, Meta is at the second wave right here. So it is entirely possible to extend yourself. I charted Tesla, and it's also on the Discord. All of these charts are on the Discord. Also, John, just a real quick tip, man. Um, we can track this. Like, this is something that this is like brain science, right? Um, when you say, and again, I'm not trying to lecture anybody. You guys are your own people, but when you say out loud or even take the time to type it, I suck at this thing. Immediately, there's a part in your brain that wants to validate the information that you just provided. So now your brain is only going to be focused on what reasons you suck. Why do you suck? Right? We don't have to believe it, but a lot of the times just fucking having the right mindset and saying, you know what? I'm going to learn swing trading and avoiding saying anything that your brain could use against you. So when we start, we develop a bias almost against ourself and our learning capabilities. Don't put that, there's already enough for you to or you know to feel challenged by when it comes to stocks, but don't be the challenge. All right, so the next one is VNQ, Vanguard Real Estate. PotterStocks, did the Hogwarts Express pull up on you on a foggy morning as well? No. Um, no magic in my world. Sorry, that was a bit dark. Um, nope. No, I would have loved that. That'd have been great. I would have loved for a giant wizard to come bust my door down. Turn my brother. No shit. So the reason gaps tend to reverse isn't because mostly high frequency traders trading in it, not people actually investing, closing their long standing positions. John, that is actually very, very rare. So high frequency trading can almost like set up, right? The opportunity to get people out of long positions, right? Um, but at the end of the day, it's not because of one thing. You're a wizard, Gary. All right. So one thing that I have a problem with here is obviously these trend lines suck, right? They don't really line up, and it's not really worth my time to try and like stress out on whether or not they're valid or not. And for the most part, I try not to ever get myself like in a situation where I'm, basically trying to like chart outside of things or stretch things, right? Because that like this thing doesn't line up. So if they just don't line up, they just don't line up, right? So right now I have to go and set this up, make sure that it lines up correctly, see whether there is price that actually lines up with it. I do see a lot of candle closes underneath it. I do see some price action like here and right here and right here, all abiding by that. I also see that the top resistance, right, is serving as support. It's done that once before. So what I can do is now that I have the channel underneath, I can clone that channel and I can, oh, that was the wrong sound effect. I was going for it, but the whistle didn't come out. I'm sorry. So 97.33, right? We see right here it's 112.50. So I see a lot of I see a lot right there as far as holding up. So as far as real estate is concerned, or the VNQ, it looks like maybe your recent high here, bring it down to your recent low. So you might end up seeing a little bit of a pop here. One, two, three, decent volume, but anywhere below this low here, and I imagine that you will see yourself down to $86.65. And according to this, and falling into this would actually probably not be a good thing. You would likely see some pretty intense price action. So, all right, so if you guys are enjoying the stream here on YouTube, if you guys don't mind, how do YouTubers say, smashing that like button, absolutely obliterate that freaking like button if you guys don't mind. It would make me and my family proud. Ellie would be proud of you if you smash the like button for me. All right, so that's V and Q. We'll slap that chart up in the thing, up in the Discord here. People will be like, "Why is it tagging everybody?" All right, next one is Starbucks. Oh, gross. I wonder if Starbucks might be a good inflation stock. So let's take a peek here. Um, I know that anybody who trades with me or trades like me, you guys know exactly what I see right here. And this is actually a inverse, the beginning of a potential inverse head and shoulders. But is it a cup and handle, Garrett? It could be both. It could be both. Patterns are not like things that people make. They're price action development, right? So this is just price action. looks like you got and I do put a little bit weight on the a little bit of weight on this whole thing right here, but it does look like you have some decent volume climbing in here. Earnings came in. You're holding up. You're making new highs. You've just established. Uh, excuse me. Good God, I'm really sorry. You just established a new high here. You did leave a gap below you. I don't like that, down to 87.88. And let's do one more thing. So let's go to the 4 hour. We're gonna go to extended hours because Starbucks is actually a stock that doesn't does actually moves decently or has movement in after hours. So it's funny. It's actually a high percentage of moves in the stock market are all made in after hours. Wow, look at that. Look at it. Just look at it. Let's get some math behind it. Oh, I lined that up too weird. All right, so this appears to be the trend at the moment. The trend drops, the trend changes here. Um, I think you had like a daily double bottom-ish type setup right there. Actually, no, you had a triangle right there. But regardless, you took on trend here. So it does look like you're just recently coming off of your next leg up. You did end up hitting resistance, and it does look like you have support coming off of this recent low. So I would say break in trend would likely come for Starbucks right around there. So candle close underneath $88.75. You could see further downside, but channels don't mean rejections if we break above. And I would just say, obviously, due to the price action in the area, it's probably not like a straight shot. And Starbucks is definitely a longer hold stock for me whenever I do trade it, just because it is a kind of nightmare price action. But when you pull this over, let's see, does it tap off of that floor? No, it doesn't, but it gets certainly really close. So 94.40 and $95 are going to be the upstairs target if for Starbucks. So all right, so the next one, oh yeah, I'll post this in the TikTok or Discord as well. I'll tag you, Ash. I know you're in there, so if you guys do use the charts that I post in the Discord, leave a reaction below them. That would definitely just let me know that you guys were able to get that chart or whatever. So this is a chart right here. I can already tell you by looking at it from this far away that we're gonna have to go and start this work on the weekly. Great heavens. All right, so the last big bounce that we saw from MMM was here. And this is at the 114.50 level. The next true floor below for MMM is actually right. Yeah, right here. So it's going to be right around $96. So MMM is hanging on by a thread. Um, Starting from your highs, moving to your lows. Let's stretch that a little bit further. I'm almost certain that's your trend. That's your trend. Trend is your friend. Trend is ugly. We're not really liking that trend. Hold on one second, guys. All right. Sorry about that. So this I'm gonna because we're on the weekly. I want to focus on higher time frame trend. Okay, so that's all I got, right? That's all I got. I can't see anything at the bottom. So again, deviation channels come out and we go and we see. If we don't see anything, that's fine. We don't have to see anything, but we need to see if we can. All right. I don't like that either. So we're not going to go with that either. So if it doesn't work, you don't do it. Probably don't trade it. So number one, right? Here's the concern. You're at your floor, right? You're at your support. You've got a extraordinary amount of volume coming off of M right now. And it just had earnings. So it's likely to be that way. But a lot of the times after earnings, now you have volume and now you have potential catalysts. So with that being said, I'm going to bring back down that trend line from here, right? And it looks like you got a massive rejection off of that trend. But the walls above you, right, are very, very distinct and pretty easily navigated if you have patience. All right, so check that out, right? I'm on the money with this stuff as far as the zones are concerned. 133.64. That's a potential, and is this extent? This is the daily. That is a potential, or that is not potential. That is the pivot point as well as the median in the box above you. So if MMM closes a daily candle or possibly a 4-hour candle above 126.75, I would imagine that you're about to go and make a new move to the upside. But you have already broken down and retested, so it may not end up happening, and you could just make a straight flush through. It does look like you got earnings. Yeah, you're pretty far from there. So I would, without knowing what earnings are, it's going to be a tough level to break. And underneath you, as far as long term, I really couldn't see it anywhere other than $196. So I'll post this chart as well. Hmm. Not a big fan, right, of that weirdness, but a lot of the times I can zoom in here. Okay, so this is how I fix this, right? The fuck was that? What's that little one? So right here, do you guys see that where I can kind of tighten it up a little bit? That's typically what I'll do, is go off with the bodies. But in this case, most of this is in after hours, but you see right here, we got a flat wall. So it makes sense. And then as far as price action is concerned, definitely do when it comes to price action. But right here, right, this is where you're going to want to close a candle up above. It looks like you had a super confluence with your downtrend and your median right here all hitting at once. So it would be above 1765 straightforward on AEHR. And then, you know, above 1870, I would say long. No, Chaden. If you're in AMD, if you're still in AMD, you can hold, but you again, I just want to say it again. This is a long expiration contract, and there's a good chance that you're gonna have to hedge yourself if it is anything of meaning or value to you. I would get out of the trade and focus on something more near term because there's probably going to be a better spot. Am I holding mine? Yes. Does it really burn me at all? No, because I will take AMD long if I see the opportunity to do so. All right, Apple is the next one. All right, so not exactly sure. There we go. So Apple. Perfect chart, y'all. Absolutely lovely. I love this chart. Besides all this interesting bullshit. All right, floor. Looks like we got a gap still above us. It's like I've got another leg down to 147.13 based on this channel. If we fall any lower, if we are not going to fall, or if we are going to go for a retest, I would imagine that retest definitely lies at 153.50. 153.50. Partial or mostly because I see a confluence there between the floor and the deviation channel, right? And S1. So this is going to be basically, excuse me, the danger zone. You got to break above that if you want to go long. If it hits support first, then I would bank on it making a better move. Yeah, you know what? Smart traders might end up being, and it doesn't. If you're a swing trader, especially, um, how low could Meta drop? Well, I think long term Meta's a $100 company, but I could argue that all day. That's a long term projection, though. So I mean, it could fucking take years. You know, it's still held as a very valuable company, but funny enough, it's leading the dump a lot of the times. So. All right, so it looks like we got Apple. Yeah, what else do we got, guys? I got a couple more in me. It's 9:43, almost 10 o'clock. We're gonna go ahead and go to bed. I've never won nor met anybody who has won on AMD. I won on AMD. I made a bag on AMD way back, a long time ago. But yes, I don't trade AMD. In fact, that used to be one of my rules, since I hated trading AMD. But AMD had this. I'm looking over here, like this is AMD. I believe, yeah, it was here. We ended up going long on AMD, and it ended up squeezing. What's up, TQQ? No, but I do have a solid chart on that one, dude, because this one fired off really well, dude. This one I was actually really surprised at how well this thing ripped and hit my target, like bam, like hit it and then dumped. But yeah, I think I was thinking about the SQQ. Sorry. But this one did end up going, and that's trash. Absolute trash. All right, so I think this is another one of those charts that I ended up having to line this bad boy on there. Check that out. So anyway, yo, TQQ has a solid setup. Let's go to the hourly now. Our Glaze Crypto. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But mostly I'm pretty good at feeling that stuff out. But I do use a couple different momentum based indicators. All right, so the next step right here, lower time frame. Seems like we got a trend there. That's a little bit of a wedge. Beautiful. So I wish I could tell you what you want to hear. Um, I wish that was my job, but I would say be careful or be mindful of certain retest levels. Okay. You do have this zone above you on TQQ, right? And if it gives you a 50% reversal, it would be more than likely, and it could, I would say at this point, it's probably not going to, but it should give you, or could give you, a possible retest of 2560 before all is said and done. And this retest could stretch up into $26. So I never invest into penny stocks. No, I never, I've made, listen, I think I have traded penny stocks. My hit rate with penny stocks is incredibly high. I have a but that's because I've done it very little and I'm extremely picky. Kodak, Sava, like these weren't even really penny stocks, but could have been classified as them. So AMD is heavily controlled, definitely algorithmic. Uh, I don't really do crypto, guys. Yeah, not much about altcoin. I got Chuck E. Cheese coins. No, I just don't I don't invest in anything crypto wise without doing some research in it, and I just don't do a ton of research in it. So trading them used to be fun. All right. All right, we'll do Netflix here and PHYS, and I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, guys. All right, so Netflix broke up and out, and I've, of course, this is partially why I don't have a TikTok anymore because of this fucking Netflix play. But then again, I also have a big mouth, so anyway. For Netflix, right, we broke out of this channel, so we could go ahead and get rid of that just for now. What I am tracking right now, right, is one of these bad boys. So I don't really pay the stuff like this much attention or mind. But I have to, due to the fact that it is clean as far as the chart is concerned. Um, Number one, and this is the focus, and this is also extended hours, right? But the focus for Netflix is here. So there's only a little bit of a gap here up to Netflix, and I would say 245.85 would be the first level that I would be watching for on Netflix, um, which could complete that cup and handle. So I would say actually closing a candle above that gap would be a good indication to go to your previous highs at 248 after that. So simple. And then obviously 250 would be the next psychological number. So my TikTok got banned, so if you guys, it's PotterStocks 2.0. I'll put it in my link tree here shortly, or if you go in the Discord, the new TikTok is there. So if you guys don't follow me there, make sure to do that. And once we get to 1,000, we'll go live again. And once we go to 1,000, I'll be taking one-on-ones on TikTok. So if you're cool with being on TikTok, there's going to be a couple people who are already down with it, but they're actually going to go live with me, and we'll do TikTok together. So I'll be giving out. You guys will be able to watch those live. Um, all right, PHYS. All right, we'll do Lucid, and that's it. I'm done. After that, guys, we'll go ahead and see you guys tomorrow morning. Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys very much. Of course. Um, I hate trend like that. That's right. Trend is correct. So, all right. I can't find anything on this as far as standard deviation is concerned. But what I can do is find your trend now. So I would say a gap up above $13 definitely would help. In this concern, definitely a good bounce. And again, the floor above you is right here. So a simple retest even of a 1320 could be likely. If you move above 1320, move any higher from there, 1331, and then you actually have a gap to fill at 1342. So thank you, Dylan. I appreciate you, man. Oh, dude, you didn't get me banned over Netflix, bro. I listen. I might look like a nerd, but I'd be kind of talking shit, and I do it to myself. So I'm not a stranger to my ways. I know that I know the rules, and I think it was actually I don't know. I have this. I might have it. So there was like a video that I posted, and I'll show you guys really quickly. Let's see if I have it. No, I don't. I think did I delete it or did it get deleted? Anyway, homie had the reflection of, and I actually do think I have it right here. Hold on one second. Sorry, I have to. I just have to. thoroughly entertained. Oh, what was it? Sorry. Look at this. Look, that's this man. That's why I got banned because of his glasses, dude. And this was a screenshot from his live, man. I'm blown away. Oh yo, I'm so, that's the funniest thing ever. But wow, that is absolutely gold. So yeah, that's probably why I got taken down. Yeah. So yeah, you know what? Totally worth it. And he wanted that. He did not want that out so bad. Oh my god, dude! That's why he was in the Discord freaking out. That was a freak out. That was a grown man freaking out. But again, I don't. I really couldn't care less. I'll be okay. So, all right. Nah, man. I gotta take everybody's request. No shit. Look at that. Mm. Watch for Lucid maybe to go down. So you got one to two things here, right? You did have that wedge. I think I called for that wedge to reverse. It did. This wedge is now, and I have this little box here still. Look at this candles. Look at these candles closing. So a candle close below 1580, right? And that is where I would suspect that you would actually end up seeing downside. You got a ton of wicks above you, which could be fuel for more upside, but you're still technically on your way to the downside. So you're still in a downtrend and you're still breaking down. And so what you did is you ended up hitting near your lows 1390. So either A, you hold 1589 and bounce inverse head and shoulders and possible gap fill, or you continue to dump, more than likely heading down to about $13. So no, guys, but it is 10 o'clock now, and I gotta get to it, man. I gotta get to bed. Otherwise, you guys are gonna have a tired Potter. So, um, tomorrow morning, if you guys are not in the Discord, you guys are welcome to sign up. Or I don't think we have trials available until this next upcoming Friday. We'll have trials available then, but if we do have any left, you can check, but I don't think that I haven't checked this weekend, but whether we're out or not. I believe that Thursday we were out, but if anybody's unenrolled, then they may have left spaces available. But if you guys aren't in there, I will be live in the Discord earlier than on YouTube. YouTube, I will be live if I do go live, I'll alert you guys in the Discord, and I'll try and be live. And I know there's probably a lot of people looking for me, so I'm probably going to go live regardless for pre-market prep. But as far as live trading, I'll be live shortly on YouTube, and then we'll go ahead and we'll call it a day. But make sure you guys go comment on the YouTube or the TikTok videos if you don't mind. It would really, really help me out. Leave a like, leave a comment, and yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon. So, all right, guys, have a great night. Get some rest, make your plan, and let's have a great week. Peace.